In the shadow of time, between faith and legend, lies a story that has haunted the imagination of mankind for centuries, a story of knights, faith, and a sacred relic said to hold the blood of Christ himself. Could the legendary Knights Templar have been the secret guardians of the Holy Grail? They were warrior monks, men who vowed poverty, chastity, and obedience. Yet they became the most powerful order in Christendom. Their rise was meteoric, their fall, catastrophic. But amid their triumphs and trials, a mystery endures. What sacred treasure did they protect, and where did it vanish? In the aftermath of the First Crusade, 9 knights led by Hugues de Payens swore an oath to defend pilgrims on their way to the Holy Land. They took residence on the Temple Mount, the most sacred ground in Jerusalem, once home to the Temple of Solomon. What were they searching for beneath the stones of Solomon's temple? Some say they sought relics of unimaginable power, fragments of the true cross, the Ark of the Covenant, or the Holy Grail itself. For nearly a decade, the Templars remained a small, secretive order. But when they emerged, their wealth and influence exploded, as if they had discovered something extraordinary. By the mid-12th century, the Templars were no longer simple protectors of pilgrims. They had become a military and financial empire, answering only to the Pope himself. Across Europe, they built fortresses, managed estates, and created one of the first international banking systems. Kings entrusted them with their treasuries, nobles with their secrets. But the deeper their power grew, the darker the shadows that surrounded them. What knowledge did they uncover in the East, and what relic did they guard so fiercely? The Holy Grail, the cup used by Christ at the Last Supper, said to hold his divine blood, became the ultimate symbol of purity and eternal life. But in the 12th century, when Templar power was at its height, the Grail legend suddenly entered Western literature. In France, poets wrote of knights on sacred quests for a holy cup. Was it coincidence? Or were these stories veiled references to the Templars' own secret mission? Some believe the Templars discovered the Grail beneath Temple Mount, and when persecution struck, they carried it across seas to Scotland, hiding it within the walls of Rosslyn Chapel. Archaeological records confirm that the Templars excavated beneath the Temple Mount. Though their official purpose was to protect pilgrims, few pilgrims ever visited their quarters. Instead, the knights delved deeper, into chambers untouched for centuries. What did they find in those tunnels? Some say it was the Ark of the Covenant, others, a scroll revealing Christ's true bloodline. But many whisper of a vessel, the Holy Grail, that carried not gold, but divine truth. Whatever they found transformed them. When the knights resurfaced, they were wealthy beyond measure, and spiritually changed. Their new emblem, the Red Cross, symbolized martyrdom, but perhaps, also, a secret knowledge of resurrection. Before sunrise, the King of France, Philip IV, ordered the arrest of every Templar in his kingdom. Accused of heresy, blasphemy, and dark rituals, the once honored knights were dragged from their beds and chained in dungeons. Under torture, confessions poured forth, of spitting on the cross, of worshipping idols, of denying Christ. But were these confessions real, or the desperate cries of men broken by pain? In 1314, de Molay was burned alive, proclaiming his innocence to the very end. Yet as the flames consumed him, he cursed the king and pope, and within a year, both were dead. With their leaders executed and their order dissolved, the Templars vanished. But their legend had only just begun. When royal soldiers seized the Templar strongholds, they found their treasuries bare. No gold. No relics. No sacred vessels. Everything had vanished, as if spirited away before the dawn raids. Chroniclers record that a fleet of Templar ships slipped from La Rochelle and was never seen again. Did these vessels carry the fabled treasure, and perhaps the Holy Grail itself, across the sea to safety? From that night onward, the treasure of the Templars became legend. Its fate woven into whispers of lost gold, secret brotherhoods, and a chalice that could grant eternal grace. After the fall, many Templars fled north, to lands beyond papal reach. In Scotland, under the protection of the Sinclair family, they are said to have found sanctuary. Built a century after the suppression, Rosslyn Chapel is a masterpiece of symbolism. Hidden among its carvings are patterns resembling the Templar cross, and scenes from the New World, carved long before Columbus set sail. Did the surviving Templars leave clues here, messages etched in stone to tell where the Grail was hidden? Or does the chapel itself guard the relic, sealed beneath its foundations, waiting for the worthy to find it? Another legend claims the Templars sailed west, carrying their treasure to distant shores. Centuries later, explorers reported symbols of the Red Cross carved into rocks of Nova Scotia. Could the mysterious money pit of Oak Island be a remnant of their secret vault? Some researchers believe the labyrinth of tunnels and traps matches Templar engineering. If the Grail crossed the ocean, it may lie buried beneath those cold Canadian stones. Guarded, as always, by silence and secrecy. Though the order was dissolved, its spirit lived on. Across Europe, societies arose bearing familiar symbols: the Red Cross, the Twin Knights, the sacred geometry of the temple. Some trace the roots of Freemasonry to these scattered Templars, men who kept alive a secret faith and encoded it in stone and ritual. Did the guardians of the Grail simply vanish, or did they evolve, hiding their knowledge within new brotherhoods, waiting for the world to be ready? For centuries, scholars and mystics have debated what the Grail truly is. Some see a relic of gold, others, a symbol of divine knowledge. Perhaps the Grail was never meant to hold wine, but wisdom. To the Templars, the Grail may have represented enlightenment, the union of spirit and matter, heaven and earth. In that sense, their treasure was not of metal, but of meaning. If this is true, then the Grail has never been lost, only misunderstood. Its light burns wherever courage meets faith, and truth is sought above power. Centuries have passed since the last Templar fell, yet their legend endures. A bridge between the world we know and the one we still dream of. Every generation searches for the Grail, in relics, in history, in themselves. Perhaps the Templars' greatest secret was never a chalice or a treasure, but a truth. That the divine cannot be seized, only served. Their order was broken, their castles turned to dust. Yet their ideals, faith, discipline, and the quest for the sacred, still echo across time. The Grail remains unseen, but its light shines in every soul that dares to seek it. And perhaps, that is where the Knights Templar hid it all along.